Alright, first I want to start by saying Kala Lal Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of James Creopen Stone, and salutation to you, I came out there preaching this truth in sincerity. You know what I mean, hopeful lake. Shalom once again, this is the brother Canon from James, Jamaica, and just want to do a quick lesson and uh, things that we've been saying, it's prophecy, so we've been repeating these things over and over, you know what I mean, and one of the biggest prophecy in the Bible is against Babylon. You know what I mean? And what should be, what will happen to Babylon, basically. The new outcome of America, which is Babylon. You know what I mean? Mr. Babylon the Great, mother of harlot. You know what I mean? So, here we have a video on screen where, you see, say New World Order economist Jeffrey Sachs shockingly tells Vatican Trump is a threat to the world order. And I mean, first, Trump is a puppet, just like every other president. So we just point that out straight. But he's saying some very vital things that people seems not to really pay attention to. You know what I mean? And these things are basically that look, America has been a bully, you know what I mean, and trying to force to other countries in the world to take side when it's beneficial and to their behalf. But whenever other countries need um, certain support or things that are beneficial to them, if America is not gaining, America is not into it, and they are basically blocking those those parts. You know what I mean? For example, the Iran attack on Iran, basically, where them are trying to sanction Iran. You know what I mean? Trying to get the European Union or the other countries in that era not to do business with Iran. Also, them have them strife with China and Russia because these are all allies of Iran, Russia. You know what I mean? These are American enemies. Now, I'm gonna read some precept also, and I'm going to play the video. You know what I mean? So the video is kind of long, so I'm going to start with the first precept. You know what I mean? This is Isaiah 14. I'm going to start from verse 4. Let's start from verse 4. It says, it said that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. It was the king of Babylon. Whoever is running Babylon, whoever is in charge of Babylon, which Babylon is what? America. The word Babylon means confusion, and America is the mother of confusion at this stage, right? And say, oh, are the oppressor sees, the golden city sees. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruleth the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. This is prophecy for America. You know what I mean? You're gonna be broken very soon. And this video is gonna explain why you're gonna be broken, right? Really and truly, it's because you're wedded to the elect of Israel, the nation of Israel overall. You know what I mean? But the Most I set you up to get destroyed. Verse 7, it says the whole earth is at rest because everybody America attack. Once it don't benefit them, America will not lesser attack, but whether I want to be economy wise, or you know what I mean, by putting out sanctions and all these things, that's America. If it not benefit them, it don't make no sense. It says the whole earth is at rest and is quieted. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. Alright? I'm gonna pause there. Now, reason for reading that is because what this brother is going to say, or this devil's cracker is going to say, is going to highlight the problem America portray, and I'm gonna read a few more precepts. You know what I mean? Let's play the video.
Thank you, Monsignor, again for a wonderful day, and to everybody for a fantastic discussion. Multilateralism is not under threat per se. in most of the world, it is under threat because of the United States. And I want to say this clearly because it's not a game and it's not to provoke, it's to discuss. The U.S. was the predominant economic and technological power of the world for decades. This is no longer the case. It is a powerful country economically and technologically, but it is no longer a dominant power. The European Union is a larger market. China is a comparable market. And the spread of technology is worldwide. The U.S. is by far the most powerful military country in the world, though it learns war after war that the military can solve no political problems whatsoever. We have 6,000 nuclear warheads, 800 military bases around the world. We are involved in 14.
Pause. US fight so many wars. And guess what? None of these wars were really wars for any political, sorry, let me put it this way, to fix any country. It was always there to rob and spoil these countries and take control over these countries. Just go back and look at all the wars America fought. Trump come out and said they should take the oil when them invade Iraq. You know what I mean? Them should take it. And I think that him say. You know what I mean? They can check it. Don't quote me on it. But I think that him say. You know what I mean? So them know them agenda. The Americans know exactly what they are doing when they are pushing war. You know what I mean? So it was never ever everywhere any country America enter to push war, it becomes worse. Look in Libya. Oh, Gaddafi is a threat. Remove Gaddafi. Kill Gaddafi. You know what I mean? What happened to Libya? It turned a chaos. The country is not even functioning properly right now. You know what I mean? And other countries there, for example. Let me play the video some more.
Shooting wars right now have instigated multiple wars. The U.S. is a problem. It became a far more significant problem with Donald Trump. He may or may not be president after November, but the U.S. became vastly more complicated for the world since 2017. These are not polite things to say. Nobody likes to say them, but I want to say them to explain a few things that I think are extremely important. The U.S. has blocked every multilateral initiative of recent years. It is the only country pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement. It is the only country that pulled out of the JCPOA agreement with Iran. There is not a China-U.S. trade war. There is a U.S. trade war on China. That is different. This was an unpremeditated attack because of China's rising technological capacity. Have no doubt about it. What is this about Huawei or about ZTE or about others? It is because the U.S. realizes that China is gaining massive technological capability in artificial intelligence and other security-related areas because China's talented, smart, minting hundreds of thousands of PhDs every year, and that's how the world works now. There's no monopoly of knowledge. There's no monopoly of talent. This is driving U.S. strategists crazy because U.S. grand strategy is based on primacy. And that's not some fantasy of mine. This is in our documents, our doctrines, one after another. There can be no U.S. primacy in the world.
Well, we say it over and over, but guess what? A lot of people will not listen because this is not for you. You know what I mean? But let it come from the horse's mouth. let as the Bible says, their own mouth will go fall upon them. They must have their own secret and I tell you. But guess what? People still, oh, he just hate Trump. Yes, he might have vendetta against Trump because he might make it in that agenda. But that don't put the truth aside to say, okay, because they might use it as a vendetta or an attack against Trump means that what he's saying is not factual. You know what I mean?
World anymore that is safe for the world. That's not how the world works anymore, but that is how U.S. policy works. The U.S. is attacking the digital taxation. It has taken tremendous, disastrous cuts to corporate taxation, which is blowing up the worldwide taxation on companies. It has dismembered the WTO. There is no appellate process now. It now claims that it's going to adjudicate exchange rates and put unilateral tariffs on against countries that the U.S. alone deems to be manipulating the exchange rate. Well, I know our Treasury, and with all respect, they don't have a clue about how foreign exchange markets work. This is, of course, pure politics, top to bottom. It has nothing to do with anything meritorious other than the idea of temporary advantage in some geopolitical contest and context. Last month, when Iraq said it wanted the U.S. military forces out, if you can imagine, the Treasury said, we will confiscate your foreign exchange reserves at the New York Fed if you persist in pushing our troops out. This is thuggery. This is a complete violation of every international rule. This is
Remember Venezuela? Just a couple years, or just the other day, put it that way. What America is doing to Venezuela. You know what I mean? Taking their gold and their oil, capturing it. You know what I mean? And basically trying to overthrow the country. The same thing. Everywhere America or the US, you want to put it that way, decide they're gonna put them foothold, you always have some benefits for them to do so, and them always to try to take the people them resources. Right?
truly what we are facing. And I'm sorry to say it. It's my country. I'm not very happy to say it. But this is an imperial power in decline. And it is a dangerous country right now. It will be absolutely dangerous if Trump wins re-election. Now, okay, you don't have to say anything. No one likes to say these things, but this is actually important. The world can't stop because of the United States. We can't stop the Paris Climate Agreement. We can't stop having G20 meetings. We can't stop having tax reform. We can't stop having digital taxation. We can't have the United States adjudicate exchange rates. That's the job of the IMF. We can't not have an appellate system at WTO. We cannot have one country that is 4.2% of the world population and still 15% of world output, but not 50% of world output, decide on the international structure on which the other 96% depend for their lives now. Moreover,
Think
in
about
the
that, yo.
United States,
That's
Mr.
getting
Trump
very
does
serious,
not
yo.
have a majority backing. So it is quirks of many things that give unilateral power to a small coterie of people to dismantle the international system right now. What I would just beg of you who are running the international system, have an open discussion. Don't be coward by bullying. And let's proceed, because there is not a global crisis about multilateralism. There is a U.S. relentless daily pressure on multilateralism.
Alright, so pause there, right? That's the whole point of the video. You know what I mean? And he's making some very strong point about what we've been saying, you know what I mean? And it's the truth has been out there. And you can't do nothing against the truth. If one on one told us to, you can't change that. Right? Now, this is what the Bible says, right? And I could get a lot of precept, you know what I mean, but not gonna try to kill it with precept, you know what I mean? Just have a read few. Alright, it's Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. It says, Babylon, America, hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Right? America in every country. Him just said it a while ago. Right? Everybody have to bow down to the American policy because America says so. You know what I mean? Democracy. Oh, you're in a country and you believe that woman should just moderate. Oh, you're free to dress how you want because America come and push that. Gay rights. You're free to do whatever you want. Countries that have their own laws, you know what I mean? And I know that the world is also pushing this freedom crap thing, but this democracy shit is America. You know what I mean? Ideology, the Babylon confusion ideology. You know what I mean? Alright, let me continue. The nations have drunk enough for wine, therefore the nations are mad. They are angry, upset. You know what I mean? It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed, all for her. Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. See it? This discussion is not going to heal America. All them are going to look into this is what other countries been saying. You know what I mean? We need to get rid of America. We need to cut ties with America. You know what I mean? And America is not going to fold and just accept defeat. They're going to fight because they have the military might to do so, which will lead into World War III. You know what I mean? And which next principle that I'm going to get is going to show you that American allies is going to turn from America and destroy America. You know what I mean? This is all biblical prophecy and it's beautiful, yo. You know what I mean? This is what the Most High set up for Babylon. Right? I'm saying, yo, if you feel like you can ball and hold your belly and put bomb to make America get ill, go ahead and do it, but that's not going to work. America must be destroyed, yo. Revelation 18 tell you that the prophets or the people that are far off saw the smoke of America going up, Babylon going up. You know, you go say, oh, America never there. But guess what? Who is Babylon today? Who is Mr. Babylon today? America is. You know what I mean? America fit every description of Mr. Babylon today. You know what I mean? Continue. It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. Everybody have forsake America, even America, so-called even people living in America. I ditch that. You know what I mean? Because there's no such nation as really American. You know what I mean? There's no such real nation because there are different people in this big melting pot, different nations. You know what I mean? Let me continue. It says, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Alright? Now, read our next precept. Some never want to make it long. Just show the next one. Alright. This is Habakkuk 2 and I'm going to start from this is beautiful, but I'm just going to jump to the point, right? Alright, let me start from 5. Let's start from 4. Sorry. Alright, behold, this is Habakkuk 2 and 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, America, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, right? And cannot be satisfied, greedy, taking on people wealth unto themselves, yo. You know what I mean? But gathering unto him all nation, and heapeth unto him all people, the big melted pot. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long, and though unto him that letteth himself with thick clay. Talking about debt. America debt is in a lot of trillions now. I've been checked it in a while, but I think it was here 19 trillion or something like that. You know what I mean? Anyways, don't quote me. Alright. Verse 7, it says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee? That's the nations. China, Russia, Iran, all those other countries, and the NATO allies that were with America, them are going to turn against America. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and the city and of all that dwell therein. That's America judgment. And I'm going to read the last piece before I wrap up. You know what I mean? And this is Revelation 17, and I'm just going to go to the point, right? Alright, it says, let me start from 15. Revelation 17 and verse 15 says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the war sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues, referring to the people, referring to the waters basically as people, but it's referring to America, right? So these are people, the war is America, let me put it that way, sorry. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, right, these shall hate the war, right, NATO, they shall hate America, and shall make her desolate and naked, right, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, thermonuclear warrior, for God had put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city, the great city America, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right? This little 4%, as them say, you know what I mean? I try to tell the other 96% of the world how to live. You know what I mean? And if them not abide, then the military step in. Well, he's saying that it cannot continue like this, and a lot of nations are saying the same thing. You know what I mean? When Ahmadinejad and Putin used to go and them talk, people used to walk out because they want to hear the things that they want to say because they were allies, but guess what? These things are changing. You know what I mean? Even Americans now attack against Americans. Alright, so here you have it. Just a short lesson. Hope someone was edified and, you know, waking up to what's taking place and understand that, look, America is going out, in flames. Alright, so that I want to say, Kalalal, Yahweh, Bashem Yahshai, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors again to the apostles and elders of Great Stone. Until I came out there, Shalom.